अगर आप देखोगे तो इंश्योरेंस और बेटिंग में ज़्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है। एंड इवेंट जिसका पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत कम है उसके लिए आप प्राइस देते हो। इंश्योरेंस में आप चाहते हो नहीं हो, बेटिंग में आप चाहते हो कि हो। मैं इंजीनियर बना था 2006 में। 3 साल तक ऑलमोस्ट मैं सो रहा था। जो इंजीनियरिंग में कॉलेज में हो रहा था वो कर रहा था, खेल रहा था, कूद रहा था। जब IT में जॉब लगा तो लगा यार ये तो करना नहीं था। आपने इमरजेंसी पर्पस कुछ बनाया नहीं, सारा आपका इक्विटी में है। आपको जैसे ही पैसे की जरूरत होगी तो आपको बेचना पड़ेगा। एंड दैट मे और मे नॉट बी द राइट टाइम। द वे टू थिंक अबाउट इमरजेंसी पर्पस इज एसेंशियली, अगर ये रहेगा तो आप इन्वेस्टमेंट अपने गलत टाइम पे ब्रेक नहीं करोगे। बट इंश्योरेंस किसको चाहिए? इंश्योरेंस उसको चाहिए जिसका लॉस होने से लाइफस्टाइल पे डिफरेंस आता है। आपको मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस तभी मिलेगा जब तक आप हेल्दी हो। अभी आपको हो सकता है 5 लाख ही चाहिए हो, पर जब चाहिए होगा तो शायद ना मिले। सो इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट टू बाय मच मोर नाउ।
हेलो एवरीवन। आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग गेस्ट है जो 2025 तक अपना फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस अचीव करने की ट्राई कर रहे हैं। सो हम जानेंगे एग्जैक्टली उन्होंने फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस अचीव कर लिया है क्योंकि 2025 में कुछ ही समय बाकी है, और उनका क्या थॉट प्रोसेस रहा है फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस के बारे में और कैसे उनकी जर्नी रही है। आई वेलकम यू सुमित, थैंक यू फॉर डूइंग दिस विद अस। सो बिफोर वी कम टू द फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस पार्ट, सबसे पहले मुझे और हमारे ऑडियंस के लिए वॉक अस थ्रू योर जर्नी कि आप कैसे आपका प्रोफेशनल करियर कैसे रहा है, हाउ डिड यू मेक स्विचेस एंड हाउ डिड यू नो लुक एट फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस।
मैं इंजीनियर बना था 2006 में।
ओके।
Like in most engineering colleges, you get campus placement done in third year, right? So जॉब मिल गया था 2005 में। एक साल था जब जॉब मिला तो लगा कि यार ये तो करना ही नहीं था। सो 3 साल तक ऑलमोस्ट मैं सो रहा था कि जो इंजीनियरिंग में कॉलेज में हो रहा था वो कर रहा था, खेल रहा था, कूद रहा था, बट कभी फ्यूचर के बारे में बहुत उतना सोचा नहीं था। जब IT में जॉब लगा तो लगा यार ये तो करना नहीं था। फिर सोचा कि क्या करना था। फिर तब हमारे कॉलेज में ऐसे इलेक्टिव्स ले सकते थे थर्ड ईयर से। सो थर्ड ईयर के बाद से फिर मैंने वो सारे इलेक्टिव्स लिए जो मैथ्स में बहुत फोकस था जिसका। तो मेथड्स ऑफ ऑप्टिमाइजेशन जो कि हमारे कोर्स का नाम था, ऑपरेशनल रिसर्च इज हाउ इट इज कॉमनली नोन, वो लिया, वो अच्छा लगा। फिर और एडवांस कोर्सेज लिए मैथ्स के। तो कुछ कोर्स कॉमन है, कुछ आप चूज कर सकते हो। तो फिर लगा, व्हेन आई लुक बैक आई रियलाइज दैट maths was always something that I was most interested in. Not saying that maths doesn't get applied in programming, it does get. But in 2006, अगर आप इंडिया में IT सर्विसेज कंपनी में हो, आप जो कोड करोगे उसमें मैथ्स का एप्लीकेशन बहुत लिमिटेड है।
ओके।
और वो फिर मेरे को कुछ और 2-3 चीजें और की, पर वो वर्कआउट नहीं हुआ। तो इवेंचुअली आई एंडेड अप टेकिंग अप जॉब दैट आई वाज ऑफर्ड इन 2006। वहाँ गया तो वहाँ पे भी ऐसा लग रहा था कि कुछ तो करना चाहिए। फिर कि अप्लाइड मैथ्स में कुछ करते हैं, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली मैथ्स शुड गेट अप्लाइड टू समथिंग इम्पोर्टेंट एंड मोर मीनिंगफुल, राइट? देन आई तुम ऑफिस की बस से जाते थे, तो एक रिलेटिवली सीनियर बंदा, वाज फ्रॉम IIT देन ISB, had joined the same company as mine, उससे उनसे मैं काफी बात करता था। उन्होंने बोला कि ये मैगजीन पढ़ो, आउटलुक मनी पढ़ो, और कुछ पढ़ो, एक्सप्लोर करो। तो एक आउटलुक मनी की आर्टिकल में एक उनके एडिशन में एक आर्टिकल था एक्चुअरी के बारे में।
ओके, दिस इज 2007।
दिस वाज 2000, आई वुड से लेट 2006 और लेट 2007 समथिंग अराउंड दैट टाइम। ये पढ़ा, लगा कि यार ये तो अच्छा है, तो कॉलेज भी नहीं जाना पड़ेगा, और काम भी पढ़ के ऐसा इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा था, और लिखा था पैसे भी बहुत मिलते हैं। बस में लिखा था कि बहुत मुश्किल होता है, बट एक 22 ईयर गाय हु फाउंड हिज न्यू कॉलिंग एंड स्टफ, राइट? उसको क्या डिफिकल्ट क्या ही होता है। एंड आई वाज लाइक एकेडमिकली ब्राइट,
और खोलने के लिए कुछ था भी नहीं।
हाँ, कुछ करने भी था भी नहीं। तो देन आई आस्क्ड हिम कि यार ये पता है क्या आपको? इंसिडेंटली बिफोर गोइंग टू ISB he had worked in an IT company but insurance domain.
Okay.
So he knew who actuaries were.
Okay.
तो उन्होंने बोला कि एक्चुअली बन जाओ, लाइफ बन जाएगी। Then I said, and by that time I had started seeing him as a mentor.
So होता क्या है एक्चुअल में एक्चुअलीज? मतलब बहुत लोग सुनते हैं, करते हैं, और शायद कॉलेज में सबका रहता है कि शायद हम भी ट्राई कर लेते हैं, बट nobody really gives an attempt. So what exactly is the role और करते कैसे हैं?
So actuaries in very simple terms, they understand risk better. They understand risk and also quantify a value to it. So the most easy and relatable explanation or example of it is insurance. We assign a value to the worth of human being. That essentially becomes a sum assured. पर वो हर आदमी तो उस टाइम फ्रेम में नहीं मरेगा, तो उसका कितना प्रीमियम होना चाहिए, दैट इज एसेंशियली क्वांटिफिकेशन ऑफ द रिस्क. So premium then becomes a quantification of risk. अधिकतर एक्चुअलीज इंश्योरेंस सेटिंग में काम करते हैं. दो तीन इंपॉर्टेंट काम वो करते हैं. वो है प्रोडक्ट प्राइस करते हैं. जो भी आप इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट आप और हम खरीदते हैं वो प्राइस करते हैं.
Could be anything, life, general,
हेल्थ, सबका स्पेशलाइजेशन होता है. तो फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम लाइफ एक्चुअली, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस एक्चुअली. फिर जब पॉलिसी बिक जाती है तो कभी ना कभी तो क्लेम आएगा. तो क्लेम देने के लिए अभी कितना पैसा साइड में रखना है, तो वो कैलकुलेशन करते हैं. So these two are like the more important pieces of what an actuary does in insurance setting, but there are other things as well. पर ऐसा नहीं कि एक्चुअली सिर्फ इंश्योरेंस में ही काम कर सकते हैं. अगर आप देखोगे तो इंश्योरेंस और बेटिंग में ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. इंश्योरेंस में आप प्रीमियम देते हो और आप चाहते हो कि ये इवेंट ना हो गया तो आपको पैसा मिलेगा. बेटिंग में आप बोलते हो कि मैं बेटिंग में इन्वॉल्व होना चाहता हूँ और जीत गया तो मेरे को जैकपॉट मिलेगा. सो एन इवेंट जिसका पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत कम है उसके लिए आप प्राइस देते हो. इंश्योरेंस में आप चाहते हो नहीं हो और बेटिंग में आप चाहते हो कि हो, बट अंडरलाइंग मैथ्स इज सेम.
तो कभी कभार ऐसे इवेंट्स हो जाते हैं जिसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी बहुत कम है. फॉर एग्जांपल 9/11 का अटैक हो गया, तो उस समय आई एम वेरी श्योर कि इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज पे बहुत बड़े क्लेम्स आए होंगे. तो एक्चुअलीज वो प्रोबेबिलिटीज को कैसे गेज करते हैं?
सो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी हम सबको पता है कि एग्जिस्ट करती है. इंश्योरेंस कंपनी भी अपना रिस्क री इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज को देती है. So reinsurance companies essentially insure insurance companies, and you and I don't get to hear about them because they work in the background. Their clients are insurance companies. The end customer doesn't get to know or hear about them, but some of the bigger companies across the globe are reinsurance companies. I happen to work with one of them. So reinsurance company क्या बोलती है कि reinsurance companies by design they operate in hundreds of different countries. And write risk across life, health and general typically. तो कहीं साइक्लोन आएगा, कहीं टेररिस्ट अटैक होगा, कहीं पे अर्थक्वेक आएगा, कुछ ना कुछ होगा. कहाँ होगा is probably difficult to gauge in next year. But since they spread their risk across the geography, across line of business, they are able to place a value to it. And since the amount of business that they cover is so much, possibility of one or two event happening in any year can be easily calculated.
So when did you become when did you come to your actuaries?
2017.
So मतलब आपने 2007 में डिसाइड किया, तो 10 साल लगते हैं.
10 साल मुझे लगे. मुझे 2007 में मैंने डिसाइड किया. फिर मैं आईटी कंपनी से इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के आईटी डिपार्टमेंट में मूव किया. फिर एग्जाम लिखना स्टार्ट किया. सो आई स्टार्टेड राइटिंग इन 2008. took 9 years. मैंने जब क्वालिफाई किया था तो 9-10 साल was an average. I've seen people who qualify in 3-4 years as well, and of course there are many more who do not end up qualifying.
So during your entire period जब आप जॉब कर रहे थे in the insurance sector from the IT side, आपका पैसों के साथ रिलेशनशिप कैसा रहा?
तो काफी इवॉल्व हुआ है. I think while I come from a family which is reasonably well to do, it's not that we had truckloads of money.
Right.
So there were instances when money was also a problem. ऐसा बहुत गरीबी नहीं थी. That doctor है, so we never faced that kind of situation. But I've also seen scenarios wherein we had to take out the last 100 rupees that we had saved towards, let's say, my college education. Right. So we've seen those days as well. So I've seen money. It started as a status symbol in early days of my career, and making money was one of the goals. But over a period of time, now I see money as a tool to give me more options in life. So, of course, it brings status symbol, it brings convenience, but it gives me an option to, let's say, work for lesser hours a day.
Right.
That's an option, right? And I may or may not want to exercise. Right. It gives me an option to, let's say, choose a mode of transport. It gives me an option to choose a type of car that I buy, and let's say if I prioritize safety, then I can buy a car which is safer.
Right.
So it has evolved from being a status symbol to a tool that gives convenience. so that I can focus on things that I really want.
Correct.
So if money is out of your way, it takes good 80-90% of the problems of your life. And if health is where you want to focus, right? Now that you don't have to earn money to meet your expenses, then you can focus on even otherwise you should focus on your health, right? But then many people, as we know in reality, do not get enough time to focus on health. Money aa jata hai, to stress also reduces. So then that also adds to your health. Right? If you have passions that you want to pursue, then if money is taken care of, it's easy to pursue those.
Right. So during this entire journey, क्या आप जब जॉब कर रहे थे उससे आपका financial independence का goal hit हो गया था या फिर it took you a lot of investments, reinvestments to actually come to that fire number of yours and get financial independence?
तो बिना investment returns के नहीं हो सकता है. मतलब if you're in a job, so either you have to run a business that could give significantly higher amount of returns, or you get returns through investment by saving a part of money that you earn. And the reason is, we're not talking about extreme cases where the income levels are super high, and the person also is smart enough to not upgrade lifestyle. But if you earn sizably good amount of money, right? तो आपको लगता है यार मैंने इतना काम किया, 5 दिन बहुत काम किया, now I deserve to be treated well. You also end up blowing a lot of money. So you spend a lot of money recouping from those 5 days.
Right.
And then given you are also, let's say, earning money, you also promoted to a certain level, then you start believing then I should be spending so much on my clothes, or I should wear only those brands, I should be only driving those cars, right? So your lifestyle upgrade also happens. So ultimately, you might be earning more, but your expenses also tend to catch up. And your retirement corpus or FI corpus is what you save, right? Your lifestyle is just an expense in that sense. Right. So if that is a small proportion and that is not invested, it's very unlikely that even you hit that number at any point in time.
Right. So during your entire journey, how much of your income were you able to save, and what is the number currently right now?
Sure. So in my early days, it was quite random. So I knew that कुछ तो invest करना चाहिए, तो करते रहता था. 2008 भी मैंने देखा है. So I started working in 2007. 2008 भी देखा है मैंने. तो 2008 के बाद significant higher returns भी देखे, क्योंकि सिर्फ मैं म्यूचुअल फंड तब भी करता था. तो सिर्फ चलते रहते थे, तो significantly higher returns थे. फिर पर वो इनिशियली आई थिंक 5-10% था. एंड म्यूचुअल फंड्स भी मैंने रैंडमली कुछ भी उठा लिए थे, 4, 5, 6, 7 ऐसा, जो भी बैंक से जो बैंक अकाउंट है उसमें जो दिख रहा है वो ले लो. स्टॉक्स में भी इन्वेस्ट करता था, पर अगेन क्वाइट रैंडमली, मतलब टिप्स मिला, किसी ने दोस्त ने बोला ये ले लो तो ले लिया. So all that continued from, let's say, 2006 to, I would say, right up till 2017-18.
Okay, the same mutual funds में SIP same.
हाँ, मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड्स चेंज हो गए होंगे, पर पैटर्न यही था कि रैंडमली कुछ तो हो रहा है.
ठीक है.
The amount of money that I invested would have increased, actually did increase, but pretty much I would say till 2018-19 it was there was no method to the madness.
Okay.
ठीक है, पैसे इन्वेस्ट हो रहे हैं, एंड वो इसलिए हो रहे थे कि इनकम बढ़ रहा था, एक्सपेंसेस डिड नॉट क्वाइट कैच अप. सो ज्यादा पैसे इन्वेस्ट हो रहे थे, पर कहाँ जाना चाहिए, सही तरीका है, वो सब कुछ नहीं था. So 2017 I qualified, and I started on my own in the same year.
Okay.
So which meant that I was then earning more, but I had to rent my time significantly more, and I say essentially I had limited control on my time. So if my client is in US, right, if he can only speak to me at 9 PM, I have to be available.
Correct.
उसके पहले जॉब में तो जो भी टाइम का विंडो था उसमें होता था. So while I had started earning, a large part of my income was in dollars, expenses in INR, but I had lost control on my time.
Correct.
So that's when this thought of renting time as a concept hit me, basically. Essentially, if you are doing a job, or if you are a consultant, right, essentially you are renting time. There's so many hours in a day that you could rent, and there is so much you could make at an hourly rate.
Correct.
So it would eventually get plateaued. The second is essentially when you rent time at the convenience of someone else, then you start feeling it कि यार मैं free नहीं हूँ. If someone else is recently telling how my day should look like.
Right.
That's when the thought around financial independence starts.
So this was 2017-18.
2017 में तो start किया.
हाँ.
2018, 2019, 2018 तक made a lot of money, right? So made significantly higher amount of money in the first year itself. Got featured in a US news
Right.
channel. Was living life flying every 15 days, right?
Okay.
So pretty much everything that you dream of as a, let's say, consultant, you were doing that.
Flying for work.
Flying for work,
Okay.
yeah. So because when you're flying for work and people are willing to meet you, that essentially means that you have some importance,
Right.
So everything that you want to see as a consultant was ticked off in the first 2 years itself. But the happiness eluded me. And that's when the thought around कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, I'm renting my time. Around the same time started doing meditation and also started following someone on Twitter who was quite vocal about investment, financial independence, and everything I think came together around 2018, 2019 time.
Right.
And that's when I thought कि I have to kind of clean up my portfolio. So I sold everything that I had.
This was 2018.
Late 2019.
Okay. So वो एक साल के LTC में
हाँ.
एक साल के लगा.
हाँ, तो वो सब जो लगना था वो लगा. अब समझ में आ गया था क्या करना है. I think 2020 I was sitting on cash.
Before the crash?
Before the crash.
Oh, nice.
And the crash happened. By then I had figured out. मतलब मेरे को अपना behavior भी समझ में आ गया था. मेरे को क्या किस में इन्वेस्ट करना है वो भी समझ में आ गया था. I was sitting on cash.
Right.
And that helped me significantly.
So
to accelerate the financial independence.
Okay. So 2025 was your goal. So since we're in 2024,
yeah.
How far are you from your goal?
I think I'm pretty close, but not there. And I may not even get there in 2025.
Can you help us in percentage terms?
So I think I'm 70% there.
Okay.
And 30% may or may not happen. A couple of reasons. I also know, as I get closer to financial independence, I also realize that financial independence is not the end goal.
Right.
You essentially want to have more control on your life, your time, and you want to live the life the way you want. So I could have probably gotten there by being more frugal, but that's not the intention, right? The intention is to live a life that you really want to live. So I upgraded lifestyle recently, also upgraded car and stuff.
Right.
So that obviously had some hit on the portfolio.
Right.
So if I don't achieve in 2025, I might do in 2016 or 2026 or 2027. The point is, it's not a finish line, right? It's not a finish line and the race ends. Even if you are closer to finish line, you feel the power of the finish line. If you're 90% there, 80% there, you know that you're going to get there. And you start feeling the power of financial independence already. It starts reflecting in your behavior.
Correct.
So आपको पता है कि now I'm nearly there. I would get there. It's a matter of time. Then what you would feel when you cross the finish line is 90% or 80% of it you already start feeling.
Got it.
Then you realize कि ये finish line का भी क्या ही मतलब है.
So coming back to your work, so how does your day look like? मतलब आपने you mentioned meditation, so that is something that I gauged कि आप meditation करते हो. How does your entire day look like?
So I wake up anytime between 6 to 7. Never set an alarm unless there is a flight to catch. वो भी मैं 10 बजे के पहले की flight नहीं लेता हूँ.
Right.
So wake up anytime between 6 to 7. First, go for and start. And again, it's a function of weather as well, right? So I've not started running. So it's been a year now. So depending on which weather, it's summer, then I would start early and stuff. But rain or ठंड में तो कभी भी जा सकते हैं. So I would start running around 7:30 to 8.
Right.
Be there for an hour. Run only for about 30 minutes. थोड़ा warm up, थोड़ा cool down, थोड़ा आराम से बैठे. So run in an area which is fairly green, enclosed, those kind of stuff. About a kilometer from my place. Come back, do meditation.
Okay.
Then prepare tea. Put 10-15 minutes बनाता हूँ, आराम से पीता हूँ.
Right.
And that's when उसके बाद by that time daughter has gone to school and it's just me and my wife. So spend another half an hour catching up, having breakfast. So typically around 10:30 to 11 I start work.
Okay.
Finish by 5:30ish.
Nice.
And unless there's something to be done, I do not work after that, which gives me a lot of time to also think. Right, I run two businesses. I have team working with me, so I'm getting to a point where thinking, strategizing, thinking about future, how do we take care of the risk that we might encounter is more important than doing day to day.
So आपने जो कहा कि financial independence के पास जैसे हम पहुंच जाते हैं तो start reflecting in your behavior as well.
But yeah,
So that is I think clearly visible in your case.
yeah, and so basically and it's also a function of how soon you want to achieve and what that number is and how bigger that number is, right? So if you got into that number and you're happy that that's the number that you are happy with, then it starts reflecting in your behavior.
There's a very big debate going on social media कि a section of people say frugality में believe करो, save it, invest it, you might grow your wealth. Other people say you live only once, so spend it right now, you'll never get a chance again. So what is your take on this entire debate?
So I think it's a very good question, and I think it deserves some bit of discussion and thinking about. So अगर आप सोचो कि in reality you only die once.
Correct.
You don't die every day, right?
Right.
So that's the reality. You have to live for 80, 90 years. People have their benchmark of when their grandfather died or when their father died, but that benchmark is shifting year on year, by generation, by year on year, and for each generation it would, let's say, shift by 5-10 years.
Right.
So you and I, maybe you more, would live for 80, 90 years. You would probably live for 100
Right.
years. The point then remains, you would start working starting, let's say, 2021, continue to till 60. In more developed worlds, the 60 is 65.
Correct.
Because they live longer, right?
Correct.
You still have another 30, 35 years.
Right.
And those are the years you may not be able to earn even if you want to, because people may not be willing to offer you a job.
Correct.
You may not be in the best state of health.
Correct.
And your medical expenses will shoot up. You have another 35 years to take care of based on 30, 40 years that you worked, right? So you have to already take care of those 40 years. You also have to take care of those 35 years. Right. Unless you are lucky enough to die early, you're going to live longer. Right? And you will live longer with a lot of medical aids.
Right.
Living with medical aids for a longish period of time where doctors and your relatives won't let you die with lesser amount of money is not a good situation to be in.
Right.
So it makes a lot of sense to save for future. And then the question is frugality, right? I think frugality doesn't mean that that you have to cut corners, live, spend only, let's say, 10-20% of your income and save everything else. Because anything that is not sustainable, so think about this as dieting, right? If you are new to dieting, you would do it for 2-3 days and ek din aap binge karoge.
Correct.
It basically is negating everything that you do.
Correct.
So whatever you do has to be sustainable. In early 20s, the number could be as small as 5-10% of your income. The focus in early 20s should be basically increasing your skill and increasing your income. कि 5-10% या 20% का आप 15% भी आप return ले लोगे या 20% भी ले लोगे, तो it's a small amount.
Right.
So the idea then remains is you continue to increase your skill, increase your income. What you save and invest could be 5-10%, 15%.
Right.
But as your income increases, if your lifestyle doesn't catch up at the same pace, you would have more money to invest.
Correct.
So yes, your lifestyle should increase. You live in a society, you have people around, and it does impact you. But how much is a question, right? So if you have to spend something that you can't afford, which means that you can't. So okay, and I think there's a bit philosophical answer to it. What you can't afford. It essentially is, अगर आपको लेके लगता है कि यार मैंने कार ले ली, उसमें स्क्रैच आ जाएगा तो मेरी नींद उड़ जाएगी, and you can't afford it. Right. So you're not there yet.
Right.
So whatever you buy should be at a point where even if something happens to it or it gets fully damaged, it doesn't impact you significantly.
Right.
So that's the level. That's the definition of what you can afford.
Right. So on the similar lines, when we are talking about this thing, frugality, तो कितना percentage आप अपनी income का invest करते हो versus age wise अगर कुछ हम एक definition दे पाए कि when you're 20 30s तो आप 5-10% करो, 30s 40s में you can do about 15-20%. Is there a number to it?
I think I won't have a number in mind, but I can talk about how it changed for me. It could also change significantly for others depending upon what happens in their life, right? I mean, luckily things have been all right in my case, but you could lose a job, you could have a medical emergency now, then things could completely change. So starting with, let's say, 5-10% in, let's say, 20s, maybe going to 15%. And then 20-ish or 20-25% even in 30s is a good number. Your income would also have increased.
Correct.
Also have to account for the fact that you will pay taxes, you would have married, you have gotten married,
Right.
के बच्चे होंगे, उनका खर्चा होगा. So as long as you at least have you review that number, right? You're not doing it blindly. You'll realize कि यार मैंने इतना किया था, investment आया था. Once you start seeing investment returns, you will all automatically get to a right number there.
So when you talk about कि कुछ proportion आप अपने salary का invest कर रहे हो, so what is the asset class? Should it be all equity? There should be some debt? Should there be some other asset class?
So equity होना चाहिए, but कितना is always remains a question. And I think it's largely function of your risk appetite. Classic example that I've put it quite a few times. मेरा 90% exposure equity में है, मेरी sister का 90% exposure debt में है.
Okay.
Same घर में पैदा हुए हैं. She's only 4 years older to me, right? And despite me having reasonably good understanding of how this thing works, right, I have not been able to convince her.
Right.
So, पर आप वही उसी में इन्वेस्ट करो जिसमें आप कंफर्टेबल हो. अगर आपको लगता है कि 50% डेट is what would give you good sleep, I think that is more important. But then one should also look at 2 or 3 important things. One, आपका emergency corpus जिसके जो काफी लोग सोचते नहीं है और अर्ली डेज में इंपॉर्टेंस फील नहीं होता है, वो कम से कम 6 महीने से लेके 1 साल तक का आपका एक्सपेंस होना चाहिए.
6 to 12 months of your expense.
Of your expenses.
Okay, fine.
The higher the better. And the way to think about emergency corpus is essentially, अगर ये रहेगा तो आप इन्वेस्टमेंट्स अपने गलत टाइम पे ब्रेक नहीं करोगे.
Right.
So if you have आपने इमरजेंसी कॉर्पस कुछ बनाया नहीं, सारा आपका इक्विटी में है, आपको जैसे ही पैसे की जरूरत होगी तो आपको बेचना पड़ेगा. And that may or may not be the right time.
Right.
So ये सोचना है कि ये मेरा यार 1 साल का खर्चे का पैसा है, ये 4% 6% ही कमा रहा है, is not the right way of thinking it. The right way to think about it, if this is there, this guy can earn 12-15%.
Correct.
So having emergency corpus, and this could happen because of multiple reasons. Medical emergency हो गई, job चला गया, you have to switch a job, right?
Correct.
So as long as you have emergency corpus in place, that is kind of intact. Also, having safety nets, emergency corpus is one of it. Having right level of insurance, term insurance, medical insurance, critical insurance, disability insurance is important because one event could wipe this off completely.
So what about the other 10 of your corpus?
So it's in debt.
Okay.
There is also, and this is non-crypto thing. There is some portion in crypto which has seen super highs and super lows now.
Right. So is there a bifurcation in terms of equity portfolio as well? कि कितना small, mid और large cap में आप जाते हो?
So मेरे equity में I have 4 direct stocks. All of them are mid to large.
Okay. Only 4 stocks.
Only 4 stocks.
Okay.
There were 6, then I trimmed down to 4.
Okay.
Mutual fund भी 4 ही हैं.
Okay.
So basically all equity focused with one of them is flexi cap. So 3 are equity focused.
Equity and
one is purely short term mutual fund, right? So ultra short term fund. So basically that's my emergency corpus.
Correct.
So मेरा सारा emergency corpus उस fund में जाता है. There's a PPF that I have stopped investing in.
Okay.
NPS मेरा sizable है.
Okay.
So that's also equity, बस इसमें क्योंकि tier 1 है तो 25% goes into debt.
Debt 75% you can select for equity. Correct. And given आप insurance के background से आते हो, so first that too life insurance. So as an individual, किस को insurance लेना चाहिए? And secondly, कितना?
So if we're talking about only life insurance, we'll first talk about life insurance.
Yes.
We'll talk about other bits. So term insurance जो life cover होता है, वो उनको ही लेना है जिनके कोई dependents हैं या उनके पास कोई आउटस्टैंडिंग लायबिलिटी है.
Correct.
या उनके पास इनफ एसेट्स नहीं है.
Okay.
So basically जो लाइफ कवर है, it's meant to have enough money so that lifestyle of your dependents is taken care of. That's the purpose of life insurance. Right? If you have fairly large amount of money, so someone who has achieved financial independence, he doesn't need a life insurance for that, because the money is already there to take care of lifestyle of you and the family. If you are not there, they would certainly be taken care of. Right? So someone who has gotten to a point of financial independence doesn't need life insurance. If I die and I have no dependents, no kids, no spouse, no parents, right? Then there's no risk,
right?
No risk that we are covering. अगर मेरा कोई लोन वोन भी नहीं है तो उसकी भी जरूरत नहीं. So अगर मेरे पास कोई डिपेंडेंस नहीं है, कोई लाइबिलिटी नहीं है, और मैं I do not have enough assets, I have enough assets, then I don't need life insurance. All other scenarios I would need. But insurance किसको चाहिए? Insurance उसको चाहिए जिसका लॉस होने से लाइफस्टाइल में डिफरेंस आ जाए. So someone who has like truckloads of money, right? उसके घर में किसी को critical illness भी हो गया, कैंसर भी हो गया, 25-30 लाख 50 लाख भी खर्च हो गए, उसका नेटवर्थ 100 crore है. He doesn't need insurance, right? He would take care of it, and 50 lakhs here and there wouldn't make any difference. So some people who have significantly large amount of money would not need insurance.
Correct.
So the usual myth ki income into 10 doesn't work.
It has to be very personal. It has to be a very personal choice. Correct. And what about other insurance?
So other insurance में medical insurance is an important insurance. While one way to think about it is कि अभी बीमार हो जाएंगे तो हॉस्पिटल में कितना खर्चा आएगा, and that's of order of on an average is like 3 to 5 lakhs. But important चीज समझने का ये है उसमें कि आपको मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस तभी मिलेगा जब तक आप हेल्दी हो.
करेक्ट.
अभी रूल्स चेंज हो रहे हैं, पर वो कैसा चेंज होगा वो देखना पड़ेगा. पर आपको मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस तभी मिलेगा जब आप हेल्दी हो. तो अभी आपको हो सकता है 5 लाख ही चाहिए हो, पर जब चाहिए होगा तो शायद ना मिले.
करेक्ट.
So it's important to buy much more now. So and what is much more, right? तो सोचने का तरीका ये है कि अभी अगर 5 लाख खर्चा है एवरेज, तो आप मान लो कि मेडिकल इन्फ्लेशन डबल डिजिट है, तो 12 to 15%, so 11 से 12%, तो हर 6 साल में वो 5 लाख डबल हो रहा है. आप जियोगे 60, 70, 80 साल. So think about then what that number should be, because once you fall sick, increasing cover is very, very unlikely.
Right.
And then medical insurance, of course, takes care of many things, including critical illness cover. But critical illness cover, depending upon what critical illness, could cost you significantly lot.
So medical insurance में ऐसा भी होता है कि if I start taking the insurance right away, I'm paying my premiums. But medical insurance मुझे certain age तक ही cover करेगा, उसके बाद छोड़ देगा.
वो इंडिया में yearly renewable है.
Okay.
और रिन्यूएबल फॉर लाइफ टाइम है.
Okay.
तो जब तक आप प्रीमियम दोगे तब तक आपको कवर मिलता रहेगा. अगर आप क्लेम कर लोगे तो भी अगले साल फिर मिलेगा.
Okay, alright. तो ऐसा कोई ऐसी पॉलिसी नहीं जिसमें आई एम पेइंग प्रीमियम टिल द एज ऑफ 40 बट आई एम कवर्ड टिल द एज ऑफ 60 70 75?
वैसा मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस में इंडिया में ऐसा नहीं.
इंडिया में है ही नहीं वो चीज. ऑलराइट. बट टर्म में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता.
हां, टर्म में आपको होल लाइफ तक भी मिलता है.
सो एंड व्हेन यू मेंशनड अबाउट लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, तो आपने स्पेसिफिकली टर्म के बारे में बात किया. आपने ना एंडाउमेंट का बात किया, ना आपने यूलिप का बात किया. आर दोस प्रोडक्ट्स बैड?
No, those products are not bad. So I think we should go back to the behavior piece.
Okay.
So अगर आपका बिहेवियर ऐसा है कि मेरे को सर्टेनिटी चाहिए लाइफ में, ठीक है, then you go towards debt.
Right.
और आपको ऐसा चाहिए कि अगर मेरा गोल ये है कि मेरे बच्चे की पढ़ाई होनी चाहिए, उसको 15 लाख मिलना चाहिए let's say 10 साल बाद, whether I die or I survive. The only product that matches it completely is endowment product.
Right.
15 साल में 15 लाख मिलेगा, आप मरो या जियो, ठीक है. You could do that by, let's say, investing in a debt fund and also buying a term insurance. But you have to buy 2 products.
Right.
And not everybody is financially savvy to do it.
Right.
So, इनमें से अगर कोई भी प्रोडक्ट खराब नहीं, किसके लिए सही है is the question.
Right.
So, ULIP again, right? अगर आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट रिटर्न चाहिए और आपको डेथ कवर भी चाहिए, तो दोनों काम एक ही प्रोडक्ट करता है.
बट थोड़ा मिस सेलिंग नहीं हुआ ये प्रोडक्ट इंडिया में?
हाँ, मिस सेलिंग इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आप बोल सकते हुआ है कि जिसको नहीं चाहिए था उसको भी भेज दिया.
Okay. अगर
मेरा होराइजन 20-25 साल का है, मैं रिस्क ले सकता हूँ, मैं इक्विटी में डाल सकता हूँ, मेरे को एंडाउमेंट नहीं खरीदना चाहिए.
और जैसे आपने कहा कि कोई लोग हैं जिनके पास एसेट अच्छे से बना हुआ है, तो दे डोंट नीड टू टेक लाइफ इंश्योरेंस. सो एनी एग्जांपल, लाइक रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल वी कैन टेक इन एज सिंपली.
तो मुकेश अंबानी, लेट्स से, उनको नहीं चाहिए उनका.
करेक्ट.
ठीक है. आप किसी भी आदमी को आप ऐसे भी सोच लीजिए, कोई भी आदमी अगर रिटायर भी हो गया, राइट, वेदर उनका रिटायरमेंट कॉर्पस है भी या नहीं है, उनकी लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का कोई मतलब नहीं है। मतलब वो रिस्क रियल में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है, क्योंकि इट्स कवरिंग फॉर लॉस ऑफ इनकम दैट यू हैव इन सम सेंस, राइट। एसेंशियली इट्स मेंट टू कवर फॉर द एक्सपेंसेस, बट जब आप अर्न ही नहीं कर रहे हो तो फिर क्या इंश्योरेंस।
So basically people from the 20s to
60s
60s
Yeah.
उनके लिए
उतना ही ड्यूरेशन का होना चाहिए।
राइट। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस आपने फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस के बारे में सोचना कब शुरू किया कि यू वोक अप वन डे एंड यू सेड कि आज से मैं इसके
so
बारे में
2018 I started thinking
Okay.
यार I have to get
Right.
control on my time,
Right.
and then I started figuring out कि control कैसे आएगा। Control आएगा financial independence से।
करेक्ट।
So and that's when I started taking.
So do you intend to stop working beyond a
No,
certain point?
certainly not. I would continue to work, but I would be more picky on what I work on.
And one last thing I want to understand, ये सारे concepts बहुत ज़्यादा लोग confuse हो जाते हैं इसमें। But what is that thin line difference between being financially well-being versus financially independent?
So financial independence, I would say, is a starting point of financial well-being.
Okay.
So financial independence takes care of money.
Right.
But financial well-being would also mean कि आपके पास पैसा है, आपको एंजॉय करना है, तो आपको क्या चाहिए? हेल्थ चाहिए,
Right.
आपको दोस्त चाहिए, रिलेटिव्स चाहिए. So financial well-being is essentially then financial well-being is financial independence plus a good health plus good social circle and relationship.
So one last thing, like our audience जो भी ये देख रही होगी would be in their mid-20s, early 30s. So one piece of advice on the personal finance side for those people, because I'm assuming most of them might be doing their jobs, you know, or running their own businesses. So what piece of advice would you give them on money?
So focus on increasing income, which essentially means increasing skill. Do not have a control on lifestyle upgrade. So if your income increases by 10%, maybe your lifestyle should increase by 5-7%. So then the gap gets created, and it's the gap that you would invest in. Focus more on depending on someone who takes care of your money, which essentially is mutual fund. Mutual fund में आप invest करो, someone is doing that full time for you, right, at a very small cost. And what that means is essentially you have a lot of time to focus on yourself and invest in yourself. So let someone else do that job. Also, have safety net in place, because one event could significantly impact your lifestyle, financial independence journey. And by safety net, I mean emergency corpus and all the protection focused insurance, term insurance, medical insurance, critical illness insurance, and disability insurance.
Disability insurance.
So disability insurance, while least talked about, मेरे हिसाब से सबसे important product है वो. So अगर आप term insurance में सोचो तो क्या होता है कि आप मर गए, आपके डिपेंडेंट्स को पैसा मिला, ठीक है. डिसेबिलिटी इंश्योरेंस में यू आर अलाइव एंड आपका हाथ कट गया, पैर कट गया, आपके डिपेंडेंट्स के एक्सपेंस हैं, आपके भी एक्सपेंस हैं, और आपकी इनकम नहीं है. सो योर डिसेबिलिटी कवर शुड बी हायर देन योर टर्म इंश्योरेंस.
And what about the premiums?
Premiums are significantly lower. Even term insurance से भी significantly
क्यों
lower.
probabilities मरने की ज्यादा है?
हाँ, मरने की ज्यादा है. डिसेबिलिटी का आपका डिसेबिलिटी होने की probability बहुत कम है as opposed to मरने की. तो सबसे पहला तो डिसेबिलिटी लेना चाहिए, but that's not the common norm, right? So term insurance, medical insurance, and the disability insurance is a must have, and these do not cost a lot.
Thank you so much, Sumit. I think there were some wonderful points shared, और audience को आपकी journey के बारे में जान के बहुत ही अच्छा लगेगा. And the whole idea of having some kind of emergency fund at your disposal to make sure कि कभी कुछ हो तो it's right there. It's very important. So that is one of the key takeaways. और disability insurance के बारे में I don't think किसी ने आज तक discuss किया था. So that was again one interesting point that we got to know. Thank you so much for giving out your time. I think it was a pleasure for us to have this conversation with you.
Thanks a lot, Kunal, for having me. Thank you very much.
Okay.